It's media day, and the Indiana Fever admin is serving up vibes and content for the fans. The 2025 Media Day is in full swing, which means the Fever squad is all glammed up and ready for the cameras. Interviews are rolling, photos are snapping, and the energy is sky high. Hey everyone, it's Caitlyn Clark checking in. We're back for year 2 at Media Day, and it's already a blast. We're taking some amazing photos for you all. Get ready. They're coming your way soon. Players are posing, laughing, and making memories. Caitlyn Clark is dropping dimes to Lexie Hull even during the photo shoots, keeping the chemistry alive both on and off the court. And yes, therapy dogs are here, making sure everyone's stress stays on the sidelines. Stay tuned for exclusive interviews, behind-the-scenes moments, and all the content you crave as the Indiana Fever tip off what's set to be an unforgettable 2025 season.
Don't swerve me. He's like, I worked all day. I had to come back for you. Your tail's wagging.
Yes, oh my sweet boy. Poor girl. She's a girl. Hi, baby. You okay? Yeah. Have you had an exhausting day? I know. It's so hard being so cool as you.
Like, see, you'll probably never see this if you weren't hired like this, you know? Like, different perspective. I'll like carry my dog around, like, see, like, see these different things. Like, look what's on the wall. Like, look at the pantry. Like, you probably never seen a drink dispenser before. Like,
Where do I even start? It's you. Oh, hi, you baby. Boy or girl? Girl. Oh, it's a baby. Yeah. This is so good. Oh my god. You guys are so cute. Like, why are they all so cute?
And did you know that Caitlyn's favorite color jersey is not the red, but it's actually the blue?
Y'all like the reds the best or not? Or the white? I like the reds is crazy.
I like the blue, to be honest.
Right.
All right, now let's shift gears a little. Time to get into the serious stuff, the interviews. Now look, there were a lot of interviews, like hours of footage. I don't want to hit you with a 30-minute deep dive that feels like homework, so I picked out some of the highlights, moments I think really stood out. Of course, we're going to break down Caitlyn Clark's interview because, come on, and then we'll tap into what Aaliyah Boston had to say too. So let's dive in. Here are my key takeaways after watching pretty much all the sit-downs. 1. Everyone wants to be here. This team? They're locked in. No distractions. No drama. Just laser focus on chasing that chip. 2. They're standing 10 toes down, blocking out all the noise and protecting the culture inside that locker room. And with all the eyes and headlines around the Fever, that matters. You could tell the chemistry is real, the hunger is there, and nobody's taking this season lightly. Oh, and here's a fun moment. One of the reporters asked players if they knew who the original number 22 was. Most of you probably already know the answer. Yep, Stephanie White. Everybody nailed it, except Kelsey Mitchell. Then they asked how many points per game Steph averaged, and here's how Caitlyn responded.
Caitlyn, the inaugural Fever season was 25 years ago. Do you know who the original number 22 was?
Original Steph White?
Do you know in that season, can you guess how many points a game she averaged?
Putting me on the spot. I should have studied up.
Yeah, media guy.
She probably passed the ball well, but 8?
7.2. Well done.
I didn't want to like lowball her. That would be disrespectful.
Caitlyn, you don't get to that point maybe after the season.
I did not, unfortunately. Too bad.
Talking about how good it was.
Yeah, this year I will go after this season. I promise you. Get you a review.
Always the joker, she couldn't help but crack a smile when asked about heading back to Carver Hawkeye Arena. But when the question turned serious, she didn't hold back, putting Carver Hawkeye Arena on blast with her honest take. She called out the atmosphere, noting that sometimes the crowd just doesn't bring the energy, especially during those quieter games. Her comments echoed past critiques from Iowa athletes about the arena's sometimes subdued vibe, especially when the stakes aren't high or the students are away. Still, her playful spirit shined through, making sure everyone knew she was speaking from the heart and always keeping it real.
Caitlyn, what's the excitement level going into the game at Carver this week?
I'm really excited. It should be fun. I can't believe it's already here. I honestly haven't been back to Iowa City a ton since I left a year ago now. So only been back a couple times, once for a football game and once for the jersey retirement. So it'll be fun to get back there, see some of my former teammates, my friends that are there. A lot of my family will be coming, so I know they're excited. I warned everybody, I'm like, there's not air conditioning in Carver Hawkeye, so usually they don't play basketball games in May, so hopefully it stays a little cool in there. I don't know what the humidity is looking like, but we'll see how it goes. It might be a little toasty.
So, she called out Carver Hawkeye Arena, but not in the way you think. She didn't diss the crowd, the noise, or the energy. Nope, she came for the air conditioning. Unfortunately, it won't be blasting anytime soon because there isn't one. But fans weren't having it. Midwest Twitter came in hot, ironically, and quickly jumped to defend their beloved arena. They said it's not that serious. It doesn't even get that hot. And by the time they're actually playing, the weather will be just fine. So basically no AC, but also no problem if you ask Iowa fans. Alright, so right now they're in the thick of training camp, literally day 4. And get this, they only have 5 total practices before they hit the court together for the first time, and it's not just any game. They're going up against the Brazilian national team on May 2nd. Yeah, 5 practices, brand new roster, and they're already diving straight into real competition. This is their first time actually playing as a unit, so building chemistry? That's on an express timeline. Here's what Caitlyn Clark had to say about trying to pull all that together, fast.
Yeah, that's all you can do is embrace it, right? Like, how lucky are we to have such a good roster and so many people that wanted to be a part of something, bigger than themselves. They saw something in this team and this organization, and you have to give Kelly and Amber a lot of credit on, selling them on this, and also them for being selfless and wanting to come here and be a part of this. So I'm just really excited. I'm lucky to be here and to have been drafted here last year, and for this franchise to put so many great resources in front of us, whether it's, obviously building the new practice facility or, just how much they invest into us and all the resources that they provide us. So really just fortunate and excited for our roster. Obviously, you don't have a lot of time to put it together. We play a back-to-back this weekend and have really only had, at that point, 5 practices. So it'll be a lot of learning on the fly, but the best thing you can do is just go out there and play with your teammates. That's the best way to learn. So we're excited.
So when she got asked the classic question, what does success look like for you next season? She didn't hesitate. No overthinking. No long-winded answer. Just straight to the point. And honestly, total mic drop. Here's what Caitlyn Clark had to say when the question came her way.
Have you guys been explicit so far about wanting to win a championship this year?
Yeah, absolutely.
What does success then look like?
A championship.
Teammates referenced you guys having that bonding time at the game, and how do those little moments with so many new faces, how will that kind of lead to success earlier in the season this year?
Yeah, it's all about building relationships with your teammates, and that can be hard at this level when there's little time and you're always adding new pieces. Sometimes there's cuts, sometimes there's trades, you're signing new people, so you have to be really intentional about that. And I think being able to do that in a setting like that where everybody loves basketball, everybody loves going to support the Pacers, but you still get to know your teammates and spend good quality time with them. So just have to be intentional about it, and like I've said, relationships is going to be the most important part of this, so you can have trust within your team.
Caitlyn, how would you compare where you were at this time last year, first week of training camp, versus where you're at this year, physically, emotionally, mentally, all that?
I think there was just a lot coming at me last year at this time. I'm trying to move to a new city. I'm living in a hotel. I'm trying to figure out my teammates, trying to figure out new coaches and how this league works and how this league operates. And, we played I played the last game of the college season. I played the first preseason game of the WNBA season. Then I played 11 games in 20 days. So it was a lot to take in. It came at me fast. But I'm also really grateful for that experience, too. I think it taught me a lot about basketball. It taught me a lot about myself and how to be resilient and to come in and to work and to always get better. But I feel like I'm at a much better spot of understanding how the league works, what to expect, what the coaches and your teammates are going to expect of you, and obviously have had a lot of time to rest and get better at things I want to get better at. So, all that being said, we got 3 preseason games to practice and really get ready for our opener on May 17th too.
The confidence in this Indiana Fever team is on another level this year. It's not just about getting a better seed or making the semifinals like Lynn Dunn and Christy Sides talked about last season. This group is openly chasing a championship, and you can feel it in every conversation. Caitlyn Clark set the tone at Media Day, saying the season will only be a success if they win it all, and she's not shying away from those expectations. But it's not just Clark voicing that ambition. Listen to Dewana Bonner, a proven champion who joined the Fever this offseason. Bonner made it clear she came to Indiana because the team's only goal is to win a title. They want to win. That's all I needed to hear, Bonner said, highlighting how the entire roster has bought into a championship mindset from day one of training camp. She's already become a vocal leader, sharing her experience and holding everyone accountable, while also praising the drive and hunger of her new teammates. With a deep, revamped roster, seasoned veterans, and a new head coach in Stephanie White, the Fever aren't just talking about contending. They believe they can bring a championship to Indiana, and they're not afraid to say it out loud.
We all just giving each other grace and trying to figure it out, but at the same time, we know we have a goal, we want to win, and a mindset, and we come in here every day and we work for it.
Okay, first of all, can we just talk about how stunning she looked? I mean, she really cleans up well. But beyond the glam, one of my favorite parts of her interview was when she opened up about the Indiana fans. She said from day one, the love was real. Like, she can't even make a quick grocery store run without someone stopping her, either to say hi or just to welcome her to the city. That kind of energy? That's special. And you can tell it means a lot to her.
I guess to that point, how does this kind of compare to what you are used to?
Oh man, yeah, totally different atmosphere. The support here has been just phenomenal. I really can't go anywhere. I've been here like a week and a half, and everywhere I go, it's just like, we're excited for the season. Thank you for being here. So it's been really, really refreshing, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm sorry?
You get that on the streets?
Yeah, everywhere. Everywhere I go, it's just, can't even go to the grocery store without someone saying how excited they are. So it's just been really refreshing. I'm excited to be here.
By that being said, how much that excites you for the upcoming season? That you got a fan base here that loves basketball, loves this team.
Yeah, I don't know if I even really realized yet because I haven't played in front of it. So I'm excited to get a little bit of a taste on Saturday, but I can only imagine how the first game is going to be. Playing here as an opponent, it's hard to play here. They get loud, they get crazy. Last year in Connecticut, we just kept saying, we know we can't take this thing back to Indiana. We got to finish it at home because it was going to be insane. So I'm excited to be a part of it and them cheering for me for once instead of against me.
And once again, it was that quiet confidence in winning that really drew her to Indiana. She knew what she wanted from the jump, and it wasn't just playing time or hype. Her eye was on the prize, and that prize, winning. That mindset is what brought her here, and it's exactly what's fueling her now.
A challenge within itself for those three. I came up short in the semifinals. I think that's a challenge for us. I think Tosh she didn't make playoffs. So I think everybody have their own different challenges and at different points of their career, and just trying to bring it together. What's the point of putting this roster together if you're not going to compete for a championship no matter what adversity you faced before? It's kind of like a new clean slate, and you got to have a chip on your shoulder from the beginning.
What have you learned about Stephanie as a coach?
This is my second year, so I had Stephanie in Connecticut, and so it's kind of be an easy transition. But yeah, she's tough. She holds everyone accountable. I think she's doing a great job with this group and just putting us in great positions to be successful and getting everybody to buy in. So that was the first part. But yeah, Steph is tough. But she also is a player coach, and she understands when you have to give someone grace or you have to give someone a pat on the back instead of yelling at them. So it's just been good. I feel like this group is been refreshing. I always walk around and I ask Kelsey and I ask Cece how you feel. I want it to feel different for them. I want them to enjoy the process. I don't want to feel like someone's coming in and taking over or anything like that. So I always try to check on them and take care of them.
That happened to you a lot when you were at stops or in college at all? People recognize you out in public?
Not as much as here. That's for sure. The eyes are on you here. The lights are bright, but I think we got the Fever organization do a good job of taking care of me, and since I've been here, me and my family and my teammates has been great. Aaliyah, Caitlyn, and Kelsey has been great, kind of showing everybody the ropes because they did play in this atmosphere last year. So just having someone who's done it, it's been pretty helpful. So.
Okay, so Caitlyn's muscles came up, and yes, it was a whole moment. Aaliyah Boston was asked about how Caitlyn's different from last season to this one, and naturally, the gains had to be mentioned. Here's how Aaliyah responded when Caitlyn's off-season strength came up. And let's just say, she did not hold back.
I feel like everyone talks about it. I'll see it on social media. They'll be like, Caitlyn has so strong muscles. And don't tell her I said that either. don't even mention that. Yeah. But I think her strength, I mean, she gets in the paint and she's able to bully her way in and finish strong at the basket. I mean, everyone talks about, once again, her three-point shooting, and we've all seen her passing, but I think her ability to get downhill and really just stay on balance and score the ball, I think is going to be great this year too.
And her ability to get downhill and attack the paint, that's where the muscle gain is going to make a huge difference. Last season, she didn't really have the luxury of time to fully adjust to the physicality of the WNBA. Everyone else had been out here pumping iron for years, and Caitlyn? She got knocked around a bit. She ran into some unexpected screens, got bodied in the lane. It was a real welcome to the league moment. But this year, people in training camp have noticed. They're talking about how much stronger she is, how she's absorbing contact better, and just how much more power she's bringing when she drives through the paint. Let's just say she's built for the bump now. And then there's Natasha Howard, also new to the squad this season. And of course, she had some thoughts about Caitlyn Clark. She's seen the work, she's seen the hype, and now she's getting a front row seat. Here's what Natasha had to say about playing alongside Caitlyn.
I see it already in practice. She's talking to us in the huddles and stuff. I feel like it's natural to her because she did it at Iowa for the 4 years when she was at Iowa. So I feel like she's gonna be in that category with the Sue Bird, the Donna Taurasi's and stuff like that. So she's gonna be a really good point guard in years to come.
So that was a really sweet moment. She just loves playing with Caitlyn Clark and already sees her growing into a leadership role, even in just her second year. But what's really stood out from listening to everyone at Media Day is how DeWanna Bonner has emerged as the team's leader. With Bonner entering her 16th WNBA season, it's no surprise her experience and presence are front and center. Bonner herself has talked about how she's grown into this leadership role, but she's also quick to point out that she's learning from the young core, especially Aaliyah Boston and Caitlyn Clark, because they're showing her what it's like to play for a franchise with this level of attention and a fan base this passionate. While Bonner brings all the veteran savvy, court IQ, and maturity you'd expect from a two-time champion, she admits she's never dealt with this much outside noise before. One of the biggest things she's picked up is how to block out distractions and protect the locker room from all the chatter, making sure the team stays focused on what matters most. It's clear, Bonner's leadership is invaluable, but it's also a two-way street. The veterans and the young stars are learning from each other, and that dynamic is shaping the Fever's identity heading into the new season. And then there's Sophie Cunningham. She also shared where the team's head is at, where they want to be by the end of the season. Spoiler alert, their eyes are locked on that championship ring. It's a theme that's come up in almost every interview, right? But what really sets Sophie's interview apart? She brought it back to her Midwestern roots.
How's it been being back in the Midwest? You got a little taste of winter in the middle of March and April. That's always fun.
Heck yeah. After practice yesterday, they had scalloped potatoes and meatloaf, and I was like, I am back in the Midwest, and I love it. So I'm all here. I'm for it. Just being back in the Midwest, the people are just good people, and especially when you go to a college town like Iowa City, to get behind someone so great like Caitlyn Clark, I just think there's a lot of positive and excitement news around women's basketball, around Caitlyn, around Iowa. And so for us to kind of go there and kind of see what it's about, actually, they ended my career there, my senior year of Mizzou, so I'm not salty or anything.
From Iowa?
Yeah, it's fine. It's all good. But no, it's going to be fun just to kind of be back in that Midwest mentality of people who are all about their sports teams, and so I'm excited for it.
You've been recognized out in public yet by people getting MIZs and stuff?
No MIZs, but a lot of, hey, we're ready for the Fever season, so I'm all for it. Yeah.
One sentiment that kept coming up throughout all the interviews? Just how good the team feels right now and how tight-knit they are. Kelsey Mitchell really dove into the culture shift happening with the Fever this season. She shared her thoughts on how the vibe has changed and what it means for the team moving forward.
I don't know, just even us going to the Pacers game yesterday, it's the aura is just different. We sit and watch games like we been family for years, kind of I sat there with C-Square, I sat there with Caitlyn. And we just talk about basketball, and then I sit with Stephanie, we talk about basketball, and it's for some reason, the love language that we all have for basketball just kind of made I don't know, the culture needs to be around this time.
And then, of course, there's Lexie Hull, who totally surprised everyone by revealing her engagement to the media. She shared the details, and you could tell it caught a lot of people off guard, but in the best way possible. Here's what Lexie had to say about her big moment.
You got your 2 rings, now looking for the 3rd. Is that your mantra for the season?
For sure. 3 on the way.
Yeah. Go back to your engagement. What was that whole thing like for you with your fiance?
Yeah, so we went on family vacation with his family the week before training camp started, and so I just thought it was going to be a normal, reset before training camp, and ended up coming away with the ring. So very thankful. He'll be with me this whole season, so I'm just very grateful.
And then there's Sydney Carlson, who's still pretty new to Indiana. So, of course, she got a few recommendations on where to eat. The locals were quick to share their favorite spots because, hey, you can't live in Indiana without knowing where to grab the best bites, right? Here's what Sydney had to say about settling into her new home and some of the food recommendations she's gotten.
Probably be comparing restaurants here to out there, and just trying to get out in the community and see what there is to offer. You got recommendations about something?
The garage has been name dropped already. That's
the
a pretty
garage?
good spot. Yeah, off of Mass Ave. It's like a big food hall.
Okay,
That
good
one's
to
been
know.
Recommended. Yeah.
Okay.
Boca has a really good happy hour if you're into that kind of thing, like Orange Juice Princes,
You trying to get me drunk?
No, I'm just making offers.
Man.
About the same age, you got to feel young or whatever. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Garage. Okay, I got it.
And of course, she couldn't resist slipping in a joke right at the end. Classic move, right? Now, I know many of you are probably waiting to hear from Michaela Timson. So, let's not keep you waiting any longer. Here are a few words from Michaela herself.
It was totally unexpected. I didn't talk to them at all, the week before the draft, so I'm just blessed to be here though, but it was unexpected. I know it's gonna be crazy in the crowd, we got Caitlyn who, put all the exposure to women's basketball since her great rookie year last year, so I just knew the crowd's going to be great, the fan base is going to be great, the atmosphere is going to be great, so I'm just excited to be a part of it. Yeah, I had a few conversations with her yesterday at practice. She just told me just be a sponge and watch the vets and do the things that I've been doing. So that's what I need to do, and just, it's all a learning process. So just being willing to learn and also just working hard every single day and being consistent.
Media Day was an absolute blast, so much energy, so much content, and honestly, it feels like just the beginning. There are tons of interviews with players and coaches, and if you want to catch every moment, I'll drop the link to the Indiana Fever YouTube channel in the description so you can watch the full interviews for yourself. But the real countdown is on. We are just 2 days away from Fever basketball. The revamped roster is about to hit the court. Whether we're celebrating a win or breaking down what went wrong, I want to hear from all of you. Let's chop it up and talk everything Fever as soon as the final buzzer sounds. And hey, people keep reminding me to do this, so here it is. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. And if you want to stay in the loop all season, don't forget to subscribe. See you all after the game.